Welcome back to F1 Report, everyone. It's race week and we're heading to Barcelona for the Spanish Grand Prix, our final race of our current triple header. Set at Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya, has not only been a staple of our racing for the last 30 years or so, but also much of F1's testing goes on at this circuit as well. Our drivers and fans alike are very familiar with it. Lewis Hamilton is certainly very familiar with this track, as he has won the last 3 races here. I'm sure he'd love to extend it to 4 in a row. As usual, let's do a breakdown of the teams and what they'll be expecting coming into the weekend. We'll start with our constructors leaders, Mercedes, who will still be licking their wounds after a painful 70th anniversary Grand Prix last weekend. They'll be keen to put those troubles behind them and get back to winning ways. The forecast for this event is warm, but unfortunately for the neutrals, Pirelli will be bringing their harder compound tyres to the race. So it's unlikely we'll see the blistering issues again. Valtteri Bottas will be absolutely desperate to win this race. You can already feel his championship hopes slipping away, and has even publicly criticised the team's strategy following the last race. On the opposite to Mercedes, Red Bull will be on cloud 9 after a fantastically executed race from both Max Verstappen and the strategy team. They'll be looking to continue that form coming into this race in Spain. I've liked the alternative setups Red Bull have been running with Max. I feel it gives them the best chance to capitalise on a situation with Mercedes, just like at the 70th anniversary Grand Prix. He would have had a much harder time if he was on the soft tyres at the start of that race. One point of improvement for Red Bull, and I seem to say it every race, Alex Albon's qualifying. He did do slightly better last week, but he really needs to be in that top 5 so that he can put pressure on his teammate and the Mercedes, rather than spending all of his time fighting through the field. One man who's been doing just that for his team is Charles Leclerc for Ferrari. He's been doing a stellar job, and I keep thinking each week that he'll slide down the order, but it never seems to happen. The improvement needs to come from Sebastian Vettel, who's been struggling with the setup on his car. Ferrari have finally admitted that it requires a new chassis and will be replacing it for this weekend. So fingers crossed that this solves some of the problems he's seeing right now, and we can start seeing him get a bit closer to his teammate. The team who lost out to Leclerc's good strategy last time out was Racing Point. At the 70th anniversary Grand Prix, they finally seem to live up to their 3rd best car on the grid label. Hulkenberg qualified in 3rd and was comfortably running in 5th for the majority of the race. Likewise, Stroll qualified in 6th and held that position throughout. If there is an point of improvement, it lands at Stroll's Saturday running. It's always been a weakness of his, and much like Albon, if he can improve it, I think he will have much easier race days. One major change coming into this race is that Sergio Perez is back in the car this weekend. That means a sad goodbye to Nico Hulkenberg. I'm hoping we'll see him back next season, or maybe even this season if any other drivers come down with COVID. I'm sure he's on everyone's speed dial at this point. Racing Point also have a lot going on outside of racing right now with the allegations of copying, so hopefully this won't affect them out on track, but you never know. News about Racing Point improving last week corresponded with a downturn in form for McLaren. It seems they have not been improving at the same rate as those around them, sadly, but they do currently hold 4th place in the championship, but let's hope they can bounce back and keep fighting Ferrari for that 3rd place spot. However, to achieve this, McLaren really do need to work on their pit stops. As happened to Sainz in multiple races now, it seems like he's starting to get frustrated. And that also means they have to keep relying on Norris to pull off their results. One team that seems to have caught, or maybe even passed McLaren in the development race is Renault. I'm really impressed with how they've improved since the beginning of the season. Ocon had a solid run paired with good strategy last time out, and Daniel Ricciardo was running well until he had a spin. Ricciardo seems to be able to battle well when he's on form right now, so will we see that again this weekend? I hope so. The AlphaTauris will no doubt be right behind them, constantly snapping at those final few points positions. They've been so consistent this season, with Gasly impressing in qualifying in particular, and I expect to see them do the same again this weekend. It's also great to see Kvyat have a good race last time out. I'm hoping to continue that form coming into this. Lower down the field, we have the Alfa Romeos, the Hasses and the Williams. I I think the Alphas are the only ones where I've not seen a bright spot so far this season, and it's been a shame to see how much they've fallen away. I don't think we can expect much from them this weekend, but maybe if they go away, have a week off, they can find something to re-energise those batteries. Haas are in a similar situation of falling away, however they do sometimes have good moments and are willing to take strategic risks in order to try and pull off a shock result, something I'm quite fond of. Hopefully that's something they can show us again this weekend. And finally, Williams. They've been doing great in qualifying recently, with George Russell getting into Q2 for 4 races in a row now, but the race pace just doesn't seem to be able to keep them there. That said, they are able to battle the Alfa and Haas cars now, so that's a good improvement on last year at least. Hopefully we'll keep seeing this slow improvement for Williams as the weekend progresses. Spain has never been a great race for on-track action, so I'm hoping this weekend will lead to some bold strategy calls up and down the field. We can already predict Red Bull and Max will try and qualify on the harder tyres, so will Mercedes try the same to cover him off perhaps? Same goes for the midfield. We know Ricciardo likes to try and change things up in order to get in the middle of the scrap. I think my team to watch this weekend will be Mercedes. I really want to see how they'll bounce back from last weekend's race, and of course to see if their tyres can hold up as well. For my driver to watch, I think I'll go with Sebastian Vettel this time out. Ferrari said they've fixed his car, so theoretically he should be able to shoot up the field and be nearer to his teammate. But what do you guys think? Do you think Max can pull off another shock result this weekend? And what about the midfield fight? Do you think Perez will slot straight back in where Hulkenberg left off? Let me know in the comments and I'll catch you in the next one.